Hello and welcome to the latest edition of Untitled Reviews. This time around we're taking a look at the Roccat KAIN 200 AIMO. Or AIMO. This is Roccat's venture into the world of wireless gaming mice, offering competition to the likes of Logitech and Razer. At a price of $89.99, it sits right in the middle of the wireless market, and on the surface does seem rather well priced at that. On the front of the box we find the Roccat logo and model name, and a very large picture of the mouse itself. On the back of the box we find a side profile picture of the mouse, showcasing its AIMO intelligent lighting, and some kind of product blurb in various European languages. So inside the box we find the KAIN 200 AIMO itself, complete with 1.8 meter braided USB-A to kind of micro USB cable for charging, the quick installation guide complete with plastic wallet, and USB receiver, 2.4 gigahertz receiver, complete with extender. So by way of design and our first impressions, what are our thoughts on this Roccat mouse then? Well, the most noticeable thing about it is it's not made of your kind of typical hard plastics that other mice are. It's more of this kind of rubberized anti-wear coating, which is similar to the kind of grease-proof Xbox controller that we saw Microsoft release last year. And it is actually a really nice idea. There has been no dirt or kind of grubby build-up over a few hours of usage, certainly. It does also appear that there's been a lot of time and effort that has gone into the design of this thing. It really is one of the most comfortable mice I've had the pleasure of using. It kind of, from the overall moulding of the mouse to the rubberized scroll wheel design to the little bits of metal in the middle, everything's been meticulously planned and researched, and it really does seem like Roccat have done their homework on this. There's no additional weights or side pods, unfortunately, which might be expected at this price, but the KAIN 200 AIMO makes up for this for being quite a weighty mouse as it is, which, as I say, negates the need for weights being quite heavy. Unfortunately, there is no compartment to store the associated USB dongle because, quite simply, the bottom doesn't come off. From what we can see, it just charges using the internal battery, which makes a lot more sense than having a load of AA's lying around your house. Which makes this possibly not the best mouse for travelling, but you're not going to be travelling with a 16,000 DPI gaming mouse anyway. So that doesn't really matter, and it's only going to affect a very small amount of people. But overall, by way of design, the KAIN 200 AIMO is funky, quirky, and offers something completely different to the rest of the competition. So, how did the KAIN 200 AIMO perform during those high-intensity gaming sessions? Well, the 16,000 DPI sensor that this mouse has, the Pixart PMW3335, works an absolute charm, and it is one of the most precise mice on the market. The adjustable DPI level, helped by this rubberized little button on the top here that also feels rather nice, makes life a lot easier for day-to-day workloads. Now, when we were discussing the fact that this thing's been meticulously designed and planned from what we can make out, Roccat have even gone to the lengths of working out what the best clicking motion is. And as silly as that may sound, it's actually really important to have a kind of a good felt out click as well. As just when using the mouse day to day. And it offers a faster clicking action than competitors, so they say anyways, which is useful for those high intensity gaming situations. And as gimmicky as that may sound, it is true, we've tested it out. And that does seem to be the case. They do mention very lightly on the box that there are Omron switches that are used here. These are industry standard, and so there's no real need to shout about it. But overall, in terms of gaming, day-to-day usage, and just main performance things, the KAIN 200 AIMO obviously excels with its 16,000 DPI Pixart sensor, and Titan Click offering something absolutely fantastic, blowing some of the competition out of the water.
Right, so now we've actually got the software Roccat Swarm loaded up for the KAIN 200 AIMO. Now, Swarm is a kind of a mixed bag. It's a very fiddly install, which is, I suppose, juxtaposed by some absolutely brilliant software, as well as being like 167 meg zip file download. You also have to update the firmware for both the mouse itself and the little USB receiver. So it's quite fiddly, but once you get in, it's really worth all of that hassle. Now we're greeted by this button assignment screen that allows us to change between all sorts of presets. So if you want this mouse primarily for media playback, you can. But all these buttons, all 8 of them, can be changed to the menus. So these kind of click ones can't be changed, but we can change, say, browser forwards and backwards to macros, hotkeys, timers, functions like page up, page down, all the system keys, advanced functions like DPI cycling, opening browsers, volume up, volume down, and next track, and opening all sorts of programs, documents, and folders. Now, the KAIN 200 AIMO boasts an easy shift function, so you can assign even more functions, so basically doubles it to 16 programmable buttons. And on the bottom here, we find that we can have five actually, different profiles of customization. So you basically have what is essentially 40 different program options here if you want to use them all, plus all the ones in the drop downs. Now, the illumination is what the AMIO or AIMO thing is. It's their intelligent lighting system that Roccat offers. So as well as that, you've got presets such as a wave of colour, fully lit, a heartbeat, which is quite interesting, not the one that I've seen before, the usual breathing and blinking, and battery indication. Now, the KAIN 200 AIMO features 2 lighting zones. You've got the scroll wheel and the Roccat logo. Lighting is crisp and sharp, almost comparable to the likes of Razer in that regard. And I must say, it does look rather well, and will also sync with all of your other Roccat devices that you may happen to own. In the advanced settings, we've got everything from battery status indicators to the signal strength to auto standby, everything from distance control to a factory reset of settings, angle snapping, sound feedback, and even all of that. And you can go to the general settings tab and change the vertical scroll speed, horizontal tilt speed, the speed at which the mouse double clicks, and even the Windows pointer speed. There's pretty much endless customization. There's also adjustable DPI from a range of 100 to 16,000 in increments of 100, or you can just have that on auto as well, which is nice. And you can also pin certain ones to the front page when this application is open, so it's a really, really nice and quite easy to use piece of software. And I think it's something that Roccat should be insanely proud of.
Right, in conclusion then, what do we think? Well, I suppose Roccat's KAIN 200 AIMO is, clearly an absolutely brilliant mouse with a fantastic wireless connection, second to none, and quite stellar build quality, and some brilliantly intuitive software. At a price of $89.99, of course, it is one of the more affordable wireless gaming mice that we've featured here on the channel. And against a lot of the competition holds up really rather strongly, especially with that 16,000 DPI PixArt sensor. And really, it's only the little things that let it down, such as the slightly fiddly software install and the lack of a travel compartment, which is only going to affect a very small amount of users. But on the whole, it's a sterling effort from Roccat, and we'd highly recommend it. Now, as always, if you like what you see, we'll leave a link to this mouse down in the description through our Amazon affiliates link. And obviously like, subscribe, don't forget to share the video with your friends on social media and all sorts, and follow us down in the description on Twitter and Instagram as well.